My husband did that to me in a sequin gown when this lady said, when we were at a Mardi Gras party, said you step up, and she wanted to step up in the chair so she could catch the beads. So he said, oh, here, let me help you.
My dress is black, so I didn't really.
Mine was black too, and it's sequin, so you just throw it away because you can't clean them.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Frank.
Hi there.
How are you? Good, thanks.
All this party talk, you may never get control.
Thanks. Snappy.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning, Frank.
Morning, Frank.
So glad you guys are here. I honestly didn't know if the room would be overflowing or if it would be empty with everybody recovering from all the good times last night. So I am thrilled that you're here. We are in part 3 of a 3-part series on business planning. You may recall from a couple weeks ago, it's okay, go ahead and slide on in there, that our part 1 was all about the numbers, the metrics of business planning, where we identified your financial aspirations, drilled that down to a transaction benchmark, then identified all the sources and strategies that you would employ to make that appropriate number of transactions and that amount of money show up in your business. Business planning starts with knowing your numbers. Once you know that, it's time to go into implementation phase. And as I have shared with you several times, my core belief about business planning is that it really comes down to 2 things: marketing to your sphere and expanding your sphere. We talked about marketing last week, and I showed you, again, from my perspective, how all prospecting fits into marketing to your sphere, whether you're holding open houses or calling FSBOs or working expireds. All of that has to do with marketing to your sphere. It's a certain perspective, and I would encourage you to go back and watch that video if you were not here. It's already on our YouTube channel. Now we're going to go to the second phase in this 3rd class on business planning, which is expanding your sphere. How you can add tons and tons of people really to your database. And then as your database grows, your sphere will naturally expand. Now I'm using 2 terms here, sphere and database, and I may have already confused you. So let me,
how did you know?
let me try to clear that up real quick. Your sphere of influence, or SOI, is comprised of people who know you, like you, trust you. If you bumped them into them at the grocery store, they'd hug your neck, they would know who you are. Or if you sent them an email or placed a phone call to them, they would at least know who you are. Okay, oh, it's Greg. Okay, oh, it's Brenda. Okay, oh, it's Marcia. You may not have ever met them face to face. You may have developed this relationship electronically or by other means, but they know who you are, they like you, they trust you. If they have a real estate need, they think of you first and reach out to you. That's somebody who qualifies to be in this inner circle of your sphere. Now, do you have people in your database that you're reaching out to who may not be at that level yet? Sure. So that's the outer circle, which we're describing as your database, and that's simply a collection of names and contact information of people in your market area. You may not know them yet. You may have bought a list. They might be Zillow leads or Lead Street leads. It might be a GeoFarm list that you pulled from your neighborhood directory. You don't know all 400 people in the neighborhood. That's your database. And what you're attempting to do is market. We talked about this last week. You market to the entire database with what intent? What's the goal? Expanding the sphere of influence. You market to the database out here so that this inner circle, the sphere, grows larger. So you market to the masses so that those who know you, like you, trust you, grows correspondingly. So what we're going to focus on is expanding that outer core, expanding the database so that you can market to a massive number of people, and through your messaging, and I hate to be doing a lot of repeat, but we have a lot of people here today who were not here last week. What is the message that we're sending in all of our marketing? Do you recall? Okay. The message is, I am a caring and competent real estate professional. And we'll send that message by different means. We're never going to say that directly. But in every bit of marketing material, whether it's in direct mail or email marketing or social media marketing, we are demonstrating that we're a caring, competent professional, and the people in our database are self-discovering that. Their inner dialogue is, wow, she really knows her stuff. Wow, this is great information he's providing to me. And as long as you do that consistently over time, at least monthly, they develop this perception of you. I have an issue related to real estate. If I have a question, if I need to know what my assessed value is on my home, if I need to know what my market value is, if I need to ask a question about a possible investment property, this is the person I'm going to call. That person is now in your sphere. You've taken them from the database, from the unwashed masses, and now they are an advocate for you. They are a believer in you. So databases, big picture, sphere are the ones that we're actually going to get our business from. Okay? Now, I have a challenge for each one of you, and you're going to need the worksheet in front of you along with a pencil and piece of paper. The challenge that I have for each one of you is to commit to expanding your database by a factor of 10 by the end of the year.
December 31st?
Yes.
This December 31st?
Yes. Thank you. You were listening.
Seriously?
I appreciate that. It seems impossible, doesn't it?
It's just a database, you can put a bunch of names on it.
That's exactly right. We're not talking about your sphere. I don't think you can expand your sphere in 3 weeks. You can expand your database by a factor of 10 by the end of this class. Okay?
By putting everybody that's in the class?
I'm
excited.
So you don't need 3 weeks. You just need about another 75 minutes. Okay? And again, I'm going to show you how to do that. We're not talking about people who know you, like you, trust you. We're talking about people in your preferred market areas that you're going to begin messaging to. You're going to begin marketing to draw them into your sphere. Okay? So that's it. That's the challenge. I hope you're like, gosh, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what rabbit he's going to pull out of a hat.
Let's go.
But let's do it. Okay? Let's do it. Okay? So here we go. 4 steps to go big fast, and that's what we're talking about. So first of all, set up your database. You're going to have a database. These are the 4 steps. You're going to gather names from 6 key sources. We're going to go through all 6 of them in detail. You're going to connect with these people on social media. And then finally, get complete contact information on them. Complete. Again, this is not the marketing class, that was last week. This is just how you go big fast on expanding your database. Okay?
What was the second one?
Gather names from 6 key sources.
Thank you.
Connect on social media.
Oh,
Get complete contact info.
I'm so busy writing, I missed that.
That's okay. I appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to grab one of these worksheets as well so I can follow along with you and know exactly what you're doing. So before we go any further, if you haven't put your name and date on your worksheet, please do that. Herman, you need a worksheet?
Yes.
There we go. Can I have that blank one right there between? Thank you. All right. So go ahead and put your name and date on there. And write in the number, this is a very interactive class, the number of people in your database right now. If you don't know, guess. If you don't know, that should be your first aha moment, too. Gosh, I don't know how many are in my database. So go ahead, take that number and multiply it by 10 and write that in. So if you've got 200, your next number should be 2,000. Are we intimidated yet?
Yes,
Big number?
yes,
Yeah.
Anybody want to share their 10 times number?
2,000.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Great. Anybody beat 2,000?
30,000?
30,000. I love it. Well, then now we're in the impossible realm, aren't we?
I got 7.
Nothing's impossible.
Thank you, Michelle. We are in not.
I don't have.
We're going to rock and roll it. You're going to see. Okay, so here we go. Set up your database. Remember, that's the first step. And I don't really care what database it is. Top Producer, your Reliance website, that's the old Remax Lead Street website, which some of you will retain. Your brand new homes.com website, which you'll see it says recommended. That's what I'm recommending. That's what I'm using. And one reason for that is it's free. The second reason is it's a pretty good program. The third one is there's going to be a tremendous amount of support and training provided to you through Remax headquarters and here in this office on how to use that website and its embedded CRM. So if you're like, I don't know what I'm going to use, that would be my recommendation. Okay? You can also use your Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, whatever you're using for your email now. Those generally have pretty robust CRMs built into them. So if you have one that you're happy with, come on in here, Robert. Go ahead and write in the name. And if you don't have one, write in the name of the one that you're going to explore. Okay? Would y'all give me 1 minute to walk to the copy machine? Is there an extra one laying around?
Thank you.
You good with that, Michelle? Oh, you got an extra. Oh, you were, man, sandbagging up here.
I was.
Picking them all
It's
up.
all about me.
Okay. Okay, so now everybody should have 3 blanks filled in. Number of people in your database, the 10x number, and now the name of the database program that you're going to use. Okay, do we need to pause here? Any questions about anything so far? All right. So, once you choose your database, you need to create groups for every source of relationship. This is in your CRM. And I've just, put some examples here. Your GeoFarm, your Sunday school class, past clients, your Zillow leads, Kiwanis Club, Gold's Gym. So just create these groups because sometimes you're going to market to the entire database and other times you may send very targeted messages to people in a particular neighborhood or that have some affinity relationship with you. Maybe it's the garden club members and you want to share with them, hot plants for the spring, that kind of thing, right? Could be. And then once you've created your groups, then you import all your current contacts from wherever they are now, from all sources. And it might just be your phone, or it might be your email provider, it might be that old address book you got stuck in the kitchen drawer. Whatever it is, you're going to import all the contacts into those groups. Okay? So the third step is going to be gathering new names from 6 key sources. 6 key sources. And I have to pause because you all know that my mantra in this training room for the last 2.5 years goes something like the differentiating characteristic of successful salespeople is their willingness to open the door to new. Should I have you all finish this for me?
Relationships.
On a daily basis. My commitment to do so on a daily basis is my competitive advantage. The daily discipline of generating new leads separates me from the pack, increases my lead, and does what? Guarantees my success. When encountering internal resistance, or I really don't want to do this. I would rather just play online poker or search Facebook. Okay, surely there's some paper I can move around. Internal resistance or external rejection. They might hang up on me if I call them. They might call me bad names. They might threaten to sue me. They're on the do not call list. External rejection. I ask myself, who else in my market is willing to do this? No one. It's an empty playing field. For a lead generator, a proactive lead generator really has no competition. And that's a little bit of hyperbole. No one, certainly some people are, but it's such a small percentage of real estate agents out there that it really is an empty playing field. If you'll commit to gathering new names, opening the door to new relationships, putting you outside your comfort zone, and doing that on a daily basis, your success is guaranteed. So I'm going to suggest there are 6 sources from which you can get those names. Real estate prospecting, we'll go through that. Normal life connections, we're going to go through all these in more detail. Groups, social media, purchased leads, and geofarms. That's where you're going to get new names. This is where you're going to get your 10x. Because you've already got your X, but you're going to get 10 times that from these additional sources. So, yes, ma'am.
Can we turn on the fans and open the door?
Oh, yeah.
It's very hot in here.
Yeah. Go open that door. And there's the dial on the back wall will turn the fan on. Okay. So let's go through our real estate prospecting sources. And this is just open house, property desk, FSBOs, expired, sign calls, community events, investor classes. It's whatever you're proactively doing in your business to put you in front of people that you don't already know. And this is a very specific perspective that I'm advocating here. Agents often think that the reason they hold an open house is to do what? Sell that house. And we know that does happen about 5% of the time. But 95% of the time, people come to that open house who are actually looking to purchase something. They don't buy that one, but they're going to purchase something probably within the next 6 months. And so the perspective you take on the open house is, yeah, it'd be great if I sell this house, but my mindset is, I'm here to connect with people I don't already know. I'm opening the door to new relationships. And so the most important document in that open house is not the flyer with the property description. It's what?
Sign-in sheet.
It's the sign-in sheet. It's the registration form. Because that's where you're getting new relationships. Property desk. I don't do property desk. All I ever get is leases. Oh, man. You don't like gold, diamonds, and platinum? Wow, that's what a lease is. First of all, it's going to give you lunch money for the next few months. Just get one lease. But then what's going to happen 12 months from now?
You're gonna buy or lease it.
Boy, that's right. That's right. This is fresh on my mind because I helped a couple with a lease sometime last summer, and then I got a phone call 2 days ago from somebody they know who is selling a home. Now, I'm counting on selling these people a home, after 12 months cycles by, but as it turns out, just 6 months in, I'm already going to get to sell a home because of helping them with that lease. So here's your perspective on Property Desk. I'm not here to sell $1 million house. I'm not waiting for that $3 million East Shore buyer to walk in the door and I snag them. It might happen, hallelujah. But my purpose here is to connect with people I don't know. Open the door to new relationships. And you take that approach to everything you do. FSBOs, expireds, people calling you on your listings, sign calls. Don't take the attitude, well, they probably have a realtor already. And they just want to bother their realtor, so they're calling me. Or they're probably not qualified, okay? We could talk about online leads here too, couldn't we? Doggone it. Those people don't even call me back. They give me bad phone numbers. Everybody ever had that attitude? Mm-hmm. That's what leaves the playing field wide open for agents who don't have that mindset. A productive agent's mindset is, if those people are going on real estate websites and registering, knowing they're going to be contacted by real estate agents, they're serious by definition. If you walk onto a used car lot, are you interested in buying a car? Why else would you expose yourself to that, right? Everybody dreads that experience. Why would you put yourself in that situation? Because you need a car. You can guarantee people who are registering on real estate websites, they need to buy or sell a house. Now, they might be registering on 15 sites, so they got 45 agents trying to contact them. But 44 of those agents are going to give up when they don't get a call back. You have to be the persistent one. I'm opening the door to new relationships. No, they might not be buying now. It might be 6 months. It might be 12 months. It might be a lease. It might be an $85,000 home. I'm going to be the one standing when they choose. They are going to buy. And when they buy, I'm going to be the realtor who's there. Okay, so we're prospecting, and we're taking all of these people, all these relationships, and putting them where?
Database.
For the intent of doing what?
Converting.
We're converting them into our sphere. That's exactly right. Okay? And I just have to read my quote before we go on. Prospecting is like shaving. This goes for your face or your legs, I guess either one. If you don't do it every day, pretty soon you'll look like a bum. Okay? You just won't have much left. So we are proactive lead generators. We're prospectors. Okay? Now, what I want you to do, real quickly, is write down here on your worksheet the prospecting sources that you have on your business plan for 2016. And I know we're going 10x, in the next 90 minutes, but I want you to think about, go ahead a year. What do you have on your business plan? Are you going to do open houses, property desk, FSBO, expired, sign calls, community events? While you're writing your list, I'm going to talk about the opportunity with investor classes real quick. The people in your database are sitting on piles of cash that would just make your head spin if you were aware of it. And they look like just normal middle-class 3-bedroom, 2-bath suburban families. But guess what? They got an inheritance 2 years ago and they don't know what to do with that $400,000. Or they got $500,000 sitting in a 401k earning zero for 2015. Stock market went up and down crazy for the year, ended flat. You have the opportunity to show them right now. I'm working with investors right now. I know these numbers. They're fresh in my mind. You can still buy homes in the Woodlands for $200,000 that will generate a 7 to 8% return on investment, not including appreciation on the home. And 7 to 8% takes into the leasing costs and expenses of maintenance. Do you just imagine the opportunity you have in your database right now to generate tons of new business by offering a class? You could do it right here in this room on a Tuesday evening, showing people how easy it is to buy investment properties. In fact, you have the list of 10 or 12 here. You're ready to show. You're going to put them up on the big screen and demonstrate. You're going to show them the prices, the return on investment, the expected rent rates, the vacancy rates in that neighborhood. And oh, by the way, they don't want to be up, called Friday night at midnight to go unclog a toilet. That's okay. You've got a property management solution for them as well. So you just bring the whole package there. Incredible opportunity to open the door to new relationships or take people from your database into your sphere. Okay? Once you have your list of prospecting sources, go ahead and to the right, write in the number of people that you could add to your database in the next 12 months if you aggressively gathered the contact information from each of your prospecting sources.
Okay, run that by me again.
Okay, if you're going
Because I
to
don't have a
do,
number for
are you going to
these.
do open houses in 2016?
Right.
How often?
Once a month.
Okay, so 12 open houses. How many people come through an open house on average in your experience?
2.
2, so that's 24. That's your number.
Okay, thank you.
24 new contacts from open house. And just roll down. Property desk, I do it 3 times a month, every month. I usually get 1 call. That's 36 over the course of a year. FSBOs. Well, I buy a list from a third-party service. They seem to come up with about 20 or 25 every month. I'm going to do it every month next year. That's about 600. See, just that's how you do the numbers. 25 a month times 12. Did I overestimate? I sure did. It's about 300, isn't it? That's what I get for doing math on the fly. All right, so you've added a bunch of numbers. Everybody got your numbers? Okay, let's keep rolling. Another source of new contacts for your database are your normal life connections. This is going to be a shocking revelation to many people in this room. How many opportunities you have right now that you've just been completely overlooking. Your doctor, and are all your doctors in your database right now?
No.
Your dentist, are they in, is he or she in your database? What about your hairdresser? Yeah. Robert, you got your hairdresser in there? Come on, write it down. Your dry cleaner, your veterinarian, the grocery store clerk that you see all the time and have, some rapport with, your landscaper, all your friends and family who are in this local market area. All your friends. Well, I don't do business with my friends. You're in the wrong business. Right? If you can help people, don't you have a moral obligation to let them know that you can help them? Absolutely. That includes your friends and family. Think about that. All the places that you go on a daily basis, just walk through your normal day in your head. Do you go to the same Starbucks all the time? You know Desiree behind the counter. Is Desiree in your database? Okay. So here's my question, and this is for your worksheet. If you aggressively gathered contact information on all your normal life connections, people you're already interacting with, how many could you add to your database in 12 months? In a year, how many could there... By the way, I'd love to hear your number here. How many do you think you could add? Yes?
52.
52. One a week. I love it. Yeah, you go to buy a car from a salesperson. Does that salesperson end up in your database?
Sure.
Okay, sure. You go to the same dress shop all the time. Is the salesperson in your database? Okay. Y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. This is the real deal here.
We're just thinking.
You're thinking, okay. All right, so far we've done prospecting sources, we've done normal life connections. Now, let's talk about groups. Think about all the places where you are connected to people in large groups. So that could be a Sunday school class, it could be a gym, Kiwanis Club, Chamber of Commerce, Garden Club, if you're in a B&I group, a PTA, a neighborhood directory. How about this one? Your real estate vendors and partners. Your mortgage rep. I guess we should ask you, Michelle, how many people are reaching out to you on a regular basis asking for your business? Don't answer. You'd be embarrassed. Your title rep. It's really every single person on your preferred vendor list. I guess I should ask, do you have a preferred vendor list? You probably have what, 25 or 30 people on there? Because you got the plumber, the roofer, the electrician. Got all kinds of specialized inspectors on there. Landscapers, tree removal. You've got all that on there. Are they in your contact database? So what I want you to do is write down on your worksheet all the groups where you have an affiliation. And by the way, it's not just you. It's your spouse or significant other. If you have children, it's your children, their soccer team, their swim club, the drama club, all the groups that your family has some connection with. Do you keep up with your sorority sisters from college? Okay. Are you part of a charitable organization, the dog rescue? Do you volunteer anywhere? All those places. If you live in a neighborhood, you probably have a directory of all your neighbors, don't you? So list all the groups and then add the number in. If you aggressively sought the contact information on all the members of all those groups, how many people could you add to your database within 12 months? We ought to have some big numbers here, because I suspect there's some big gold nuggets laying on the ground that we have been just tripping over. If you got them all in your database. All right, anybody got a number from just the groups? How many did you come up with people you could add from your groups?
200.
200. Excellent. That probably doubled the number of people that you already have in your database right now, just from doing groups. Yes?
I'm 1,900.
Yeah, I was about to say
Wow.
thousands.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm just on number 6.
Man, this is getting easier and easier, isn't it? Now, there's a lot. It's easy to write it down. It's hard work to actually get it, right? In my case, my new neighborhood has 450 homeowners, and I got a paper directory. Where's the work involved in that? That's input, right? And I got the directory, because remember, it's not just us, it's our spouse, it's our family. My mother moved into a new neighborhood, 600 homes, paper directory, okay? It's over 1,000 entries. That's why I have a virtual assistant, by the way, so he can do all that all day long.
I do these tennis tournaments, and they don't know apparently how to send out blind emails, so every time
You
I
get them all.
every one of them.
Don't you love
I
that?
love it. Some
Okay.
of the people already got them though,
Okay.
because it pops up.
All right, so we've gone from 200 to 1,900 to thousands. Fabulous, good work. Okay, we're not done. Social media. Okay, how many Facebook friends do you have? Do you know, by the way? Just total friends of yours on Facebook. Oh,
We can
okay.
look right now.
You could just look. I did this myself yesterday morning, and I discovered to my shock and amazement I have over 1,100 friends.
Wow.
Now, I wasn't quite sure by seeing that number if they were really my friends or just names I had collected over the year. You know, people from Africa and Asia sending you friend requests, like what in the world? So I went through, I actually took time and scanned through my friends list yesterday, and I found about a dozen people that I could not figure out who they were. And I unfriended them, but that was 0.1%. There's still more than 1,100 there on my friends list, and I actually know all those people. Now I want you to go through that same exercise, and here's the question I want to ask you. How many of those people on your friends list live in the Houston metro area and are not in your contact database? Yeah, I know they're in your Facebook, but remember that contact database you wrote down up here? Your Gmail, your top producer, your homes.com? How many local Facebook friends are not in your database? Ooh, that's going to be a big number, isn't it? Some of y'all just made an extra 100 grand. Seriously. If there's 100 people in your Facebook friends list who live locally, not in your database, that's 100 grand of additional business in 2016 if you start marketing to them using the strategy that we described last week. It's 100 grand right there. $1,000 per on average. Okay, now, oh, it's much bigger than that. If you're friends with people on Facebook, do you know that you have access to their friends list?
Yes,
You do. Is it possible that if you know somebody from the gym and they're your Facebook friend, if you go look at their friends list, you're going to find more people you know that are not on your friends list, right? And you send them a friend request. If you did that with every local friend you have, everybody in the Houston metro, or everywhere you're willing to sell a house, and some people don't go outside the Woodlands, okay? Some people go Katy to Kingwood. If you went through every one of your local friends' lists, how many more local contacts could you add to your database? Not just adding all their friends, but people that you know on their friends list, or you have some affiliation with them. You see how these numbers can go big, fast, okay? Now, I want you to write in a couple numbers. At the bottom of the first page, there's a question. How many local Facebook friends do you have who are not realtors, right, and are not currently in your database? Just make a guess. You can go back and refine these numbers once you do your homework, but go ahead and put in a number for discussion purposes. What in the world? Now, flip the page over. How many new Facebook friends could you create by reviewing your friends' lists? This is what we just talked about. Seeing if there's people you know that you haven't connected with yet. How many more people could you get? Take a guesstimate. Then you're actually going to do it. You're going to go through the exercise on your own time and just see if your number was accurate or if you need to adjust it up or down. How many of you all are on LinkedIn? Great. Do you use it much?
Yes.
Yeah. How do you use it, Andrew?
Well, I mean, I was in oil and gas for 13 years, so I've got over 5,000 people on LinkedIn. So
How many of those are local, Houston Metro?
probably at least 2,000.
Wow.
2,500 probably. And
Wow.
that's one of the main things that I use as far as networking.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. LinkedIn uses different terminology than Facebook, but it operates much the same. So you don't have friends on LinkedIn. What do you have?
Connection.
Connections. And just like you can look at your friends list on Facebook, you can look at your connections on LinkedIn. So I'm going to encourage you to go through the same process. Now think about this for just a moment. This is going to blow your mind. If you know one person at Exxon and you're connected to them on LinkedIn, how many people do you think that person is connected who work at Exxon?
A lot.
So you could take your one Exxon connection to 50, probably in a week.
Wow.
See, that's your entree into all these different spheres. So let's answer a couple questions. How many local LinkedIn contacts do you have who are not realtors and not currently in your database? And then, how many LinkedIn connections could you make if you put a focused effort on it? And by the way, everybody in your database, you should Facebook friend and you should LinkedIn connect. Send them a connection request. Okay? Because you want this web of you want to connect with them. It's so
Everybody in your database.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Because you have some affinity with them. If they're in your database, and the affinity might just simply be that you both live in Houston, right? That could be it. But more likely it's you both have kids going to the same school, or you both live in the same neighborhood, or you both used to work at Baker Hughes. There's some point of affinity there. That's how you got their name. So there's a reason for connecting. It's huge. Okay, so and that's just Facebook and LinkedIn. I don't know anything about Pinterest and Twitter and all that. Those of y'all who are really into it, there may be goldmine opportunities there. Okay, but you see there's a whole bunch right here. Okay, so let's talk about purchased leads for a moment. How many of you all are currently buying online leads from some source? Okay, that's awesome. I asked that same question in Kingwood yesterday. Nobody in the room was doing that other than me. And that you may consider that proprietary information, where you're buying your leads. But I'll just share with you openly, I buy from HomeGain. I buy their leads. I have a contract with LandVoice, and I buy their FSBOs and their expireds. So I've got access to tons of information there. Now again, I went on a little bit of a rant earlier about online leads, how people don't value them. Boy, I think they're a gold mine. And the HomeGain leads that I buy, they're cheap. I only pay $250 a month, and I get about 3 leads a day. So about 100 in the course of a month. So that's a lead cost of what? Somebody do the math for me. About $2.50 a lead. Now, why are they so cheap? Because HomeGain tells you right up front, we sell the same lead to 3 agents. Does that discourage me? Oh man, they're going to get called by 3 agents. I'll never get a deal. It's actually worse than that. Because if the person's registering on the home gain site, they're also registering on the Zillow and the Trulia and the Homes.com and everywhere else. It's probably 40 agents calling them. But I know everybody else is going to give up. I know that. So I have a strategy for these people. We call them, text them, we try to find them on Facebook, we send them email messages, and yes, it might be a bad email or it might be a bad phone, but we use the whole directory to see if we can find a better phone. We set them up on a saved search on the MLS, so they start getting dripped on with information that we believe is relevant to their need based upon the price in the area. Who else is doing that? Who else in my market area is doing all that? Nobody. Nobody. So I don't care if it's 400 agents contacting them. I know I'm going to get far more than my fair share. So I'm a believer in buying those worthless online leads. Okay? Closed a lot of deals from them. So here's just some options. Zillow, Trulia, same company now. Homes.com, HomeGain, Zerple, Boomtown, Facebook ads. Again, you're paying to promote, getting people to either come to your website or register on a landing page. Google AdWords, again, which are typically driving people to your website where they're going to get a registration page, or to a landing pages where they're going to register to get an investor list or whatever it is, or Realtor.com. If you plan to buy leads in 2016, write down the lead sources that you're going to use on your worksheet. And then how many contacts you expect to add from that source in 2016. Now, just using my HomeGain example, what would my number be from HomeGain? 1,200. I'm getting about 100 a month, 12 months, 1,200. It's pretty simple math. Okay? Just from LandVoice, FSBOs, probably getting about 100 a month. There's another 1,200. Expireds. I only work expireds from I-10 North. How many homes expire off the HAR MLS in a year? It's probably another 1,200. It's tons and tons. So I just picked up 3,600 leads right there. See what I'm saying? Massive amount of business. So write down your 3 if you're going to purchase leads, and how many contacts you expect to add from each of those. Okay? Now, let's do some quick math. I see most of you all have a phone with you or a calculator. Go ahead and do a subtotal to this point on how many contacts you anticipate adding in the next 12 months from all the sources that we've discussed so far. Big number? Did you hit 2,000 yet?
3,800.
38. So you've already gone 20x. That's awesome. We're going to take you to 30x by the end of this class. Actually, they're not in your database yet. You have a homework list
Yeah.
to get them into your database. Hey, what are you going to be doing between Christmas and New Year's?
Working on our database.
Working.
See? Well, yeah. Well, not everybody has buyers or sellers active that week. I took that week last year to do my 2015 business plan. But I've got my business plan ready for 2016. So I'm looking for a special, this would be a perfect special project if you're going to have extra time on the holidays to gather all that information. Anybody else have their big number yet? Your subtotal? Anything you'd really willing to share publicly?
9,500.
9,000?
500.
And you started with 200?
Yeah, probably.
Wow. I can't even do that math. You're like at a 50x or something like that. That's awesome.
Now it's just working it, right?
Well, he's getting the information.
Yeah.
Getting the information. But here's the deal. It's getting the information that's going to get you overwhelmed with actual business. It's getting the information. It's the process of reaching out to these people and saying, hey, I see we're connected on LinkedIn, but I didn't see a phone number in your profile. I'm putting together a preferred client list of my closest family, friends, and business connections, and I would love to get your phone number to complete the profile. Oh, by the way, I occasionally send out relevant information about the housing market in Houston. I may come across some stuff I think you're interested in. Could I get your preferred email address while I've got you on the phone? Okay. But by the way, could you say that? Could you have that conversation? Hey, and Greg, before I let you go, since I've got you on the phone, I guess I should ask, are you and your wife considering buying or selling real estate now or in the next few months? Okay. Do you know anybody who is? Have you thought about investing in real estate right here in the Woodlands? I've got a short list of homes in the $200,000 price range that are generating 7 to 8% returns, not including appreciation. Is that something y'all would be interested in? Liz, that's what's going to make you rich. It's that conversation, having that conversation with people while you're in the process of getting all their contact information. Because maybe you're just a Facebook friend, or you just have a name and a phone number, but you don't have the email address, you don't have their spouse's cell phone or email address, or their mailing address, so you reach out to them by whatever point of contact you have to get the rest, and then you have the conversion conversation. Hey, are y'all thinking about buying or selling? How many people are going to buy or sell this year? What percentage of people?
8.
7?
15%, national average. You talk to 7 people, 7 families, local families, you're going to come up with one who is going to have a significant real estate transaction this year. And how many people, by the way, do they know who are going to move this year? The average is 5. We all know 5 people locally who are going to move this year. Do you see what a great business we've landed in? I mean, it's absolutely overwhelming, incredible. Has anybody else hit their 10x number? We've had 2. You don't have to tell me your number, but have you hit your 10x yet? You getting discouraged?
No.
Don't get discouraged. What X are you at right now? Have you doubled? Or you're at a 2X?
3X.
3X. We got to get you 7 more. All right, drum roll please. Here we go. Geofarms. This is where you have unlimited contacts available to you. This is how you can go to 10x in the next 5 minutes. Okay. ColeRealtyResource.com. You absolutely need to write that down. Our office has had a subscription since February. I've promoted it in previous classes, but we have taken it to an entirely new level now. Not resources, it's ColeRealtyResource.com. The username is dfurnace, as in Dana Furnace Grimes, dfurnace. We chose the most complicated password we could think of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So don't do it now. Don't log in now or we'll shut the whole system down. Okay? But I'm going to do a demo for you to show you exactly how this works. And here's what's taken it to the next level. So since February, we've had access where we can get homeowner names and addresses in any area of Houston, and you can do a polygon search or a radius search just like in the MLS. But due to the generosity of our owners, Brian authorized us upgrading the account so that now we also have phone numbers and email addresses. Okay? Not on everybody, but on a significant portion. You can get an and/or on about 90% of the people in any geographic area. Would that help your farming efforts?
Huge.
In your geo-farm? So let me show you how it works. We're going to do a demo. All right, Raul, cross your fingers that it works this time. Here we go. So I'm already
hot
logged.
air's coming from.
Well, is that where the hot air is? That's it? We found the source? Okay, so let me. These doggone Macs.
Max.
Why did you ever convert me?
Fabulous.
Come on, get out of there. Close. Go away.
That's the problem, you can never find the button.
It's because you're not nice to it.
No,
That's
I
what it
talk
is.
mean about it. Is that what
Yeah,
it is?
that's right.
Escape.
Change your tune.
Escape.
Do you need help?
Yes,
The 3 fingers up.
I'm crying out. Okay.
Oh, you're locked up.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, you're locked up.
Oh, Max is great.
I love it when the Mac experts like.
Yeah, it's the best thing in the world.
Oh, I don't know what he did.
3 fingers, swipe up.
Swipe up. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Appreciate that, Rod. Doesn't change my feelings about Max. Okay, let's go.
Frank.
Okay. I'm a reluctant convert. Okay, so here we go. I go to ColeRealtyResource.com, right? Actually, let me just backspace one so you can see what the home page looks like. Or I'll just go there fresh. We're gonna do this from the beginning so you can see exactly what's involved. ColeRealtyResource.com. Well, it's already got me logged in. So, all right. You're gonna log in using dfurnace12345. You select cell phones and email. That's brand new. We just got the email tab yesterday. Okay. I'm just going to use my neighborhood. I'm going to put in my address to demo this. Surrey Run. Doesn't like the Woodlands. It likes Conroe. And I have a choice here. All records or telemarketing. If you select telemarketing, you're just going to get the name and phone number. So go ahead and select all records. And then hit the search button. Let's see how long this took. No, it found me. Now this is pretty cool. We just moved in this home in July. But apparently the records are fairly current. So now I have a choice. I can do a street search and get the information on everybody who lives on my street. I can do a radius search, which starts from the point, and remember, goes out in concentric circles. And you can go out as, it will only return, I think, up to 500 records per search, so you don't want to go 2 miles in a dense area, okay? Or map search. So we're going to select map search. And again, this is just like you're in the MLS. I can do free form plotting or radius plotting. I'm going to select free form so I can draw my polygon. So I selected free form. I'm going to come down here and just draw. I can see this. You probably can't see it on the screen. I'm just drawing a polygon around my neighborhood. There we go. Then view available prospects. Again, it's pretty intuitive. It just walks you right through it. And then you need to just put on some soft music. Little Lionel Richie. Because it takes a couple minutes, okay? See, just chill a little bit. Okay? It's not microwave results. And
Do you like a yoga pose?
yeah, exactly. So you'll see, you look at your tab and you see it's spinning, okay? So it's working. And just relax, okay? Clear your mind. Okay, there, it's done. All right, thank you, Lionel. Got us through. So here we go. Here's what it tells me. It has returned 655 records, so maybe they've raised the limit. 655. Looks like I've probably picked up a few. There's only 450 homes in my neighborhood, so my polygon search was a little generous around the edges, and I picked up a few more. But I want to go ahead and I want to select all records. And I'm actually not going to do this because it would be another Lionel Richie jam session while we wait. But if I was doing it for real, I would hit all records. I would then download to my computer, and I would choose a download format, and they're all different Excel, CSV type formats. So whatever you need or prefer, you can print labels if you want to do some mailings with them, and then you hit the download button. So right now we can see all the records on the screen, but if we actually wanted in a file that we could upload or put on our hard drive, we would have to do the download. But just take a look at these records right here. Here's the name, house number, street name, home phone, whether or not they're on the do not call list, and then their email address. And just scanning through this, it looks like we have emails on probably 25 to 30%. We have phone numbers on 60%. Looks like there's a lot of phone numbers. And so between the two, I think they were accurate. We probably have a phone and or email address on 90% of the people in a targeted geographic area. Now somebody tell me, how could you use this information to generate business this weekend? This Saturday, how could you use this information to generate business?
Make calls.
Open, if you have an open house, just send an email.
What would you do with an open house?
I mean, I'm gonna send them an email about an open house.
Absolutely.
Invite them.
Hey, this is Herman at RE/MAX. I'm hosting an open house at one of your neighbors at 27 Surrey Run this Saturday from 1 to 3. However, I'm doing a neighbor preview starting at 12 o'clock. I've got some wine, some cheese. I would love for you to come in for this neighbors only preview session. Look forward to meeting you. Okay? And by the way, you may have some friends who would like to move to the neighborhood, so this gives you an opportunity to choose your new neighbors. Okay? That's one way. There's 1,000 ways to use this information, but that's one way. You've got a call list or an email list to promote an open house. You can do it to promote a new listing. You may have some buyers, you're having a hard time finding a home for them, right? Because their criteria are very specific. Can you see how you could go in, find the preferred neighborhood where they want to live, and do a targeted outreach to those homeowners? Oh, I literally just got chills saying that. You think about that. I'm working with a family relocating here from Virginia. They're looking for a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-story with a pool in your neighborhood. If you've ever thought about selling, this could be the perfect time to do so. If you reach out to that message to 200 homeowners who fit that profile, how many do you think are going to raise their hand and say, hey, we might be interested? It could be 6 or 7, couldn't it? We know 15% of them are going to move this year. You catch them at just that right time. What if all 6 want to sell, but your client only wants to buy 1? Oh yeah, y'all are getting it, aren't you?
So what about the do not call list though?
Yeah, what about that?
What one says okay and one says do not call, what does that mean?
Call it in.
Yeah,
Okay is they're on it or okay you can call?
Call them anyway.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
There's a lot of do not calls, aren't there?
Right.
Yeah, yes.
I got one on this. You know how we talked about this before about being realtors and it not pertaining to us? I live in that little bitty town. And I
Yes,
found those little bitty phone books.
yes.
And when I flipped through the second page, there's a box on there that talks about professionals and real estate people being one of those that the do not call list does not apply to. In black and white print.
Wow.
Frame that and put it over your desk.
Awesome.
I have it saved in my Dropbox somewhere. I'll try to find it and email it to you.
Keep
I would just call them.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I've been calling expired for 2 years now, and nobody even remembers they're the not calls. They just tell you, oh, please don't call me again.
Yeah.
I can't go.
And keep in mind, you're not selling something, you're taking a survey, right? I have a buyer moving into town looking for a home that matches your criteria or what your home looks like. Would you be interested in selling it? That's a survey question, not a sales question, okay? I'm looking for homeowners in this neighborhood who have homes like yours who would be interested in selling. I've got a family that's qualified, eager, ready to go. Okay, like to come by this Saturday.
Yeah, even if you call like a FISBO and expired, it's not a sales call because
Yeah.
Even if they tell you I'm in a do not call list,
Right,
is this sales call? No, I'm just calling to ask about the house.
yeah, that's right. Are you,
If
are
they've
you?
got their name on a FISBO sign, I don't see how you could get in trouble for that.
Right,
Yeah.
but even on an expired, okay, where it's no longer on the market, the
Right.
question is simply, I'm just calling to see if you still have a desire to sell your home. If you could sell it in the next 30 days, would you be interested? Those are survey questions, okay? All right, has the light bulb gone off? Have we shared a tool here that will help you dramatically expand your database?
Yep.
So I want you to take your worksheet again and write down the names of 3 neighborhoods where you would like to be the dominant agent. That means you've got personal market share of 20, 30, 40%.
Hey, what's your stance on that now when you pick a target neighborhood and you can see they're fighting for it? Say there's 3 or 4 realtors in there and they're all split up. Are you still saying take it over, don't take it over, don't waste your time?
I always say go for the low-hanging fruit first. So if you can identify a neighborhood that's not currently dominated, where it's very fragmented between multiple agents, you're going to establish your presence quicker and cheaper. You can win any neighborhood, any neighborhood. You can be dominant in East Shore, but it's going to take you a long time and cost you a lot of money, okay? So I say take the low-hanging fruit first, but pick 3 neighborhoods where you would like to be the dominant agent. And then write out to the side of it how many households are in those neighborhoods. If you don't know, guess. Because you can always go to Cole right after class and find out for sure. Just draw a better polygon than I did. But by the way, when you look at your results, you can look at this, you can say, oh, well, Barclay Park, that's not in Windsor Hills. So you can go back on your polygon, where's Barclay Park? Oh yeah, I gotta shave that. You know, I got a little generous with my drawing. So it'll tell you what you've included that doesn't belong. Okay? So write in your 3 geo farms the number of households in each, and then now do a grand total. You've got your subtotal earlier. Add these new contacts from the 3 neighborhoods. And then my question is that number equal to or greater than 10 times your original database number? Did you make 10x yet? You got it? Herman?
Yes.
You got it? Yeah, he's like, man, I'm at 100x. But you see how it can be expanded infinitely now. There's no limits on how quickly you can build your database. Now, it's just a database, we define that. It's a collection of names and contact information, right? That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to call you when they have a real estate need. What do you have to do now?
Reach out.
You have to market, right? That's what last week's class was all about. So I would encourage you, like, okay, I've got 30,000 contacts now in my database. How do I get them into my sphere? Go to our YouTube channel, watch last week's class where I teach you some proven and inexpensive strategies for reaching out to these people with a consistent message that I am a competent and caring real estate professional, and draw those 30,000 people or some significant portion of them into your sphere. If you had, let's just say 500 local families who considered you their go-to real estate professional, would your financial aspirations be realized? I suspect so. 15% of them is 75. So if you get 75 real estate transactions in 1 year, and oh, by the way, they all know 5 other people, and they refer you to just one of them, now you're at 150 real estate transactions just from 500 families in your sphere. Do you see how this works? Our business is not complicated, it's basic. But agents struggle because they neglect the basics. what you're hearing in this class are the basics of building an abundant real estate sales career. So don't think, well, that's easy, and then don't do it. Think, gosh, that's easy, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be all over it, and your success is assured. Okay, questions about anything I've shared? What's been your biggest aha moment of the day?
Cole Realty.
Cole Realty, yeah. Did anybody have an aha over how many people they're neglecting in their social media accounts?
Mhm.
Yeah. Or in the groups that you have some affinity with. Okay.
And the normal life connections.
The normal life connections, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the Facebook thing would have been one, because I'm very picky about who I let on my Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I led you through all of those sources first, because I knew if we went straight to Cole, you'd be like, well, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay? But no, keep in mind, the people you get from Cole don't have, you may live in the neighborhood, or you may have sold a house in the neighborhood, so maybe some affinity, but the affinity is not going to be as strong as the people from your groups, from your normal life connections, from your social media connections. So please don't neglect those. Do the hard work of starting to build your contact database, and I would follow the scenario that we outlined here. I would do them in this order. Once you get everybody from all your other sources, then take the easy stuff from Cole. Easy to get, harder to convert. Okay? So make sure you get the low-hanging fruit from the first 5 sources that we talked about. Okay? Any questions? Are you glad you're here today?
Yes.
I'm glad you were here too. This class will be on YouTube this afternoon.
So I do have one question.
Yeah.
How long is Cole Realty Resource available?
We just signed a new 1-year contract.
Okay,
So go, go, go.
awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Frank.
Yes, thanks, Frank.
You're welcome.
You're Robin, right?
Yes.
Hey,
You too.
How are you?
Good, are you?
Good?
Yes.
You been busy?
Man, I'm busy.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I think I met you before, but I can't
That's good.
remember. Yes, Anne Marie.
How's everything?
Oh,
Nice, it's good to meet you.